Just last weekend, I got the chance to MC Purple Stride Chicago, the Illinois Pancreatic Cancer Action Network Chapter's 5K. You might know my mom is a pancreatic cancer survivor. She was diagnosed in 2006 when the survival rate was just 5%. In 2024, the rate is now 13%, which is amazing, but still so low. There's hope, though. Thanks to a breakthrough in early detection of pancreatic cancer, Dianne Balon is here tonight to tell us how a blood test caught her pancreatic cancer at an early stage, increasing her ability to survive. Hi, Dianne. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Take us through your diagnosis and what led you to have that blood test.
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, and I am certainly a huge proponent of personal health accountability. So getting the blood test for me started when I was introduced to the organization back in 2017. So I started the first blood test in 2018 under the guise of, wanting to improve my health and really wanting to look at those areas between what you eat and you exercise. And I think we all think we do something well, and then in this particular case, the measurements came back and said I could probably eat a little bit better and probably exercise more. And so then I just started to do it year after year. And I think that's a really important component here. So I had my baseline in 2018, and then I kept doing it. So that blood test then became something we could see over time.
Yeah.
So what happened was, and I'll tell you, maybe I'm a little competitive with myself. I continued to do it, wanted to, make sure I was healthy. I have 4 grandchildren, 2 beautiful daughters and their husbands, my parents. My dad just passed away a few years ago. They're models of health. My mom's in her mid-90s. And so that's really why I started testing was, how do I live that way?
So were you feeling symptoms that had anything, correlating with the results that you got on your test, or was it just the blood test?
Well, it's kind of interesting how it came together. So I had in the spring of 22, I ended up having COVID. And I really didn't think it was that bad. I had a few of the symptoms. Afterwards, lingering, I was quite tired. And so I sort of chalked it up to being tired. And then by the summer, I had an additional molecular U test done. And just as the results from that were coming back, I had gone in to see my physician. So I talked to my physician and we were going to do some additional testing. Then I saw the results of the molecular U and I was able to compare them to the years prior. And there was something different. And I'm not a clinician, so I didn't know exactly what was different. But because I have a pretty good sense that something was off, I wasn't feeling well. I actually reached out to Molecular U and I said to them, I can tell a few things are off and I would like further exploration. And so they went back and did some additional review. And then I asked them to contact my physician, which is really how all of this came together. So then at the same time, my physician did an ultrasound and an MRI. We found the lesion on the tail of the pancreas. And with this additional information, it was a piece of the puzzle. It was something that needed to be reviewed and looked at because, as you know, many times lesions are non-cancerous.
And so how are you feeling now?
I am feeling really good. So, I have to be honest, from an emotional perspective, I think things are a year later just starting to hit me when you start to see it all pulled together. Health-wise, of course, I am missing a large part of my pancreas and my spleen. So I do have to do things differently, very health-wise for sure. But I'm here, I'm active, I'm able to be a proponent for how we get early intervention.
Yeah.
And, I'm excited to be able to talk about it because I don't even want to think about what if we'd have left it.
Absolutely. So where can we get more details on Molecular U?
Well, you can go to their Molecular U website for sure, but I'll tell you what I've really started to learn because lots of people have asked me, so, what are these blood draws? What are they really about and what are you measuring? And so what I've come to learn is that, so in our blood, we have hundreds of molecules in our blood, and they're called metabolites. And so these metabolites are actually a byproduct of chemical reactions in our body. So these are part of the proteins and the structures and the units of our body. So when these molecules change, which is what happened to me, So they depend on your exercise and what you're eating and how you govern your health and if you have any health states. So what happened is as I continued to measure these, then they were able to say, hey, these are changing. If I had done this once, I wouldn't have been able to see that as dramatically as we were able to see it in 22. So then they used artificial intelligence on top of that to be able to look at the information and really analyze that.
Well, it's so awesome to be able to hear all of this from you, Dianne. We really, really appreciate you taking time to share this with you, and we hope your health stays as good as it possibly can be.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
We'll be right back with more Good Day Stateline.